Hello everyone and welcome to the 2024 Shelly Sharpe Memorial presented by Spinners on the Green. The Vista del Camino XL layout will set the stage. We have co-leaders, Drew Gibson, along with Anthony Barela. Also on the card, Andrew Miranda, and his now teammate, Parker Welck. Both of them, Team DGA for our 2024 season. Parker kind of dropped that news on us as he was closing out commentary, and now we'll get to see both of them in action. Unfortunately, no Parker joining me for this particular round. A crazy Saturday night here in Arizona, so in order to get the coverage turned around as quickly as possible, we're going to roll solo. It could be anyone that joins me, hopefully, for round 3 commentary. Right now, your co-leader, Drew Gibson. Connects with tree on the left side. He says there's a magnet over there. Barela, much flatter. Oh, but too high.
Third up on the box.
Just when I thought that looked perfect. Not quite. Let's see what Andrew can do. We saw Andrew most recently during the Big Arm Challenge.
And rounding out our lead,
He found himself on the lead card going into the final day. Kind of struggled. He said he's looking to redeem himself today from that performance. And Parker picking up where his commentary left off. Nearly perfect. Long bid for Barela. Leaves him with a par look at best. And Drew Gibson had no problem with the putter during round number 1. Felt like everything he put up was a solid bid or found the bottom of the basket. This one, not quite on the mark. Andrew looks like he'll be settling for a par. Parker is right next to the pin. Just gonna sit back for a moment as everyone else cleans up, hopefully. Nice confident stroke from short range. No problem for Andrew. Doesn't get much easier than that. Just like that, Parker will pick up a stroke on the rest of his card mates. We head to 2. We see both backhands and forehands here. The low left side forehand really is playing more of a forward skip than anything. Sometimes we see the big backhand go out and around everything. Nice burning forehand. That's going to put him inside the circle. You really need to beat those final 2 trees that are on the right-hand side. Gibson. Oh, no. It doesn't clear the fence coming back in, and Gibson too wide to the right. He's going to be out of bounds with a lengthy putt for par. And it looks like Barela's gotten over on that, so that doesn't have a chance to fight back. It needed to catch edge and then probably get a skip or 2, but turned it over too much. Okay. Miranda's a little low as well, so not exactly a bunch of great drives here. And he gets caught up short. That's going to give him at least circle's edge. And this is really out of putting range. That's a full-blown approach there by Gibson. And that'll leave him a short tap in. Bogey likely coming. I think that's one of the things you have to be most careful about on this course. Sometimes just trying to force it, you get so frustrated because there's only a few obstacles, and then when one is actually impeding your particular line or your stance, you kind of get greedy and say, hey, I'm not going to let this bother me. But now Barela, making a very simple mistake, is now leaving himself exactly at circle's edge. This is just a safe par. Just barely squeaks it in. He'll escape with the par, though. Nonetheless, even after 2 holes, not the start you're looking for here. And from just a few steps, or a few inches, I should say, inside the circle, Parker's attempt is short. Now Andrew is left with this. Short range, and that's going to be the bogey. So hole 2, not nearly as difficult as these guys have just made it look. I'm not claiming that it's easy, but it is definitely not 2 bogeys and 2 pars kind of challenging here on the lead card. So an even slower start for Gibson. He's going to go to 1 over. And Barela, sitting at even for the round, will be your outright leader. And of course, Sumui Swine and all the action from Thailand coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I hope you guys are going to be along for the ride. 360 feet, very straightforward on hole number 3. Always plays as one of the easier holes on the course. Parker said, dealer's choice here. And an interesting line to see him turn that over as late as he did. Usually see somewhat of a power backhand kind of going up and over everything, or a forehand, just like you'd see on hole number 2. Barela, however, going putter. Just going to slide it up next to the pin. Just a little 360-foot putter shot. Nice turnover. Little push Drew to circle's edge. You have to be thinking he's a little gun shy after the last hole, going out of bounds, hanging it too far to the right. And although this shot requires something similar out of the hyzer, you can still go out of bounds in the same area. So Andrew left side, corner pocket. That'll bring him back to even par. Andrew comes in with a 10-13 rating. First round unofficially rated 1046. Parker, 1020 rated. His first round was 1037. We see him 2 under through the first 3. Gibson's putter not nearly as hot in the early goings as we saw yesterday. If I'm going to round out some ratings updates, I'll let you know. Gibson comes in with a 1027 rating, and AB a 1035 rating, highest rated player in the field. So Drew left out of the birdie party. We head to 381 feet. Whether it's on a high spiking shot or just a gentle fade, most of the time players will go outside of the tree on the right as opposed to going up this inside gap. What you're not seeing here in the flyover, some of the OB that can be deep at the basket. And Parker's going to go out and around the outside. And if you're not thinking Eminem after I say that, I don't know what you're doing. AB looking for that to push. A park job yesterday and a park job today. This looks wide. And it is. Not enough to get back in bounds, so Andrew will be putting from that right side corner. Trying to save his par. Gibson. Looks pretty effortless. And he'll be rewarded with a birdie putt. Doesn't appear to be a problem. Welck off to a great start. He's 3 under through the first 4. Andrew's putter not quite as dialed. And that one, not by much, somehow finds the bottom of the basket. That's 2 in a row that have been in, but not a lot of chain. Doesn't really matter. Well, I guess maybe it shakes your confidence a little. But in is in. Drew could get something going here. Well, that's what I mean about confidence. Yes, it's in. I don't think he's walking away from that thinking, all right, stroke feels great. That's right where I wanted it to be. He does get the birdie. Not sure it built any new confidence, though. Here's Barela. Couple pumps through the routine, and he'll move to 2 under through 4. Big thanks to our friends over at Duke's Sports Bar and Grill. Also, the home of my everyday editing sessions, as I've been hanging out on the patio, trying to edit both MPO and FPO coverage here for you guys. Big shout out to Tyler and Spicy Boy, a couple guys helping on the cameras. Parker trying to come up just short of the Mandos, the second set that is. There are technically 4 on this particular hole. Yesterday we saw AB float too far left. He had really an awkward stance. Today, lined up better. I'm not sure how aggressive he can be with it. Was that flip up enough? And the answer is no. So that will be a layup all day from that short left side. Andrew doesn't like it out of his hand, and it carries too straight, too far, and that is going to miss the Mando. So he'll go immediately to this drop zone, and he's throwing 3. So almost a guaranteed bogey. Well, essentially it is. Barring a crazy throw-in that you're not even going after. That's going to be always a bogey when you miss one of the Mandos. Almost always. Here's AB. And in terms of being lined up to the pin without really flirting with the Mando lines, looks like he did a pretty good job there. A little tester on the comeback. And an unforced air by Barela. Especially after coming off back-to-back birdies on holes 3 and 4. And turns that birdie bid into a bogey here. Noticing some gray skies. Lots of people talking about a threat of rain on Sunday. If I didn't know any better, I would think that the entire state was just going to wash away or melt away or explode or something. The way people talk about rain and even the possibility of rain, it's been very enlightening these last couple of days being in Arizona. And I understand rain is not common, but the way it's been discussed, it's almost like an apocalypse is possibly on the way. So fingers crossed here on Saturday night that we don't see any rain. And if we do, I think we're all going to live. As we head to 6, 783 feet. Really looking for a landing zone somewhere around here. And hopefully that sets you up for a couple different options. This big tree here on the right is usually the last obstacle that you're worried about. And you can go long or wide and find out of bounds when you're throwing usually your second shot. If you think I fully jinxed all of the event and then some, I guess we'll have to see what unfolds on Sunday after I was just lamenting about what may or may not happen when the rain shows up. Let's hope we don't find out. Smooth and easy. Not a problem for Barela. That should give him options. What a beautiful turnover. Maybe he could use more height or a little less angle. But all in all, nice, good, controlled power shot. This looks like too much angle. Well, it'll push to the right side. That'll still give him a look for birdie. It's calling for the big skip. Green flag. Deep for Gibson, but also a green flag. I think we're a little more than a round and a third into the tournament, and Drew coming back after his injury. He said it's been about 7 months since he's played in a tournament. So good to see him out here this weekend. We haven't seen a forehand from him in any capacity. Clearly, that's partially maybe the course, but it feels like he's just not going to one whatsoever. Not sure if there's anything to be made of that, or if just he does not feel like he's been required to throw one so far. Team Green in the background, always cooking. And what's not cooking? Drew Gibson's putter. That one I think he felt was good. It's tough to tell from this angle just how good of a putt that was or how online it was, but his reaction says he was looking for a break, maybe looking for that one to fall in. And a great bounce back for Barela after the bogey on 5. So he'll be 2 under through 6. I feel like a really good pace is 3 or 4. It's not crazy to even be 5 under through 6. So a little bit slow from our card here. Parker, the best of our leaders, as he's 3 under before they take the long walk over to hole 7. Dietrich Creative Design. Make sure you check them out. The link is in the description. He was telling me he recently moved to the Arizona area. He'd love to be contacted. Any course design projects, go ahead and reach out. Again, you can find the website in the description of the video. Big thanks to him for reaching out and saying he wanted to be part of coverage sponsorship. And thanks to all the sponsors that you guys see and recognize throughout the weekend. Nice low line drive for Barela. Hovercraft action, another low line drive for Parker. That should set him up well. You know, any really big arm, Drew or otherwise, here on this card, actually has to worry about the going to the cart path deep. However, that turns over late, crosses over the sidewalk, and stays out of bounds, never giving it a chance to come back. So yes, there's OB on the right side. I'm thinking more like if you go really long, you can go deep and go over the sidewalk off the drive. Those are what are considered to be huge drives on this particular hole. Here it would get you OB with the way we've been seeing this hole played the last couple of years. Gibson with an opportunity to save the par. What a great recovery, finding the island. Parker have the right angle? He does. Sticks the landing. Also on the island with a birdie look. AB follows suit right around the pole. Does Andrew have the right speed? The answer is yes. And speaking of the weather, just near perfect conditions out here. I know it's overcast, as that is off the mark. So Parker, his putters look pretty good thus far, but now putting to the elevated basket, not grabbing a lot of chain. Gonna leave him a tester coming back. Almost no wind, though, to speak of here in either of the first 2 rounds. Temps, high 60s, low 70s. Well, I don't really know why you're not here. It's gorgeous. Andrew's going to fight back to 1 over par on the round. Certainly a rough start. Gibson currently even. This would move him to 1 under for the round. Not the pace he was on yesterday. I believe he was 4 under through the first 6, maybe even 5 through the first 7. Today, he's going to be even through the first 7. Another drop in for Barela. Heading to the iconic hole number 8, 360 feet. No big deal, just downhill, over the water. Some players, I think you're going to see them here, go out and around to the right of those trees that they just went past. Trying to put it on a hyzer angle. Barela putter in hand, though. Pretty similar spot to where he landed yesterday. Andrew's going to try and go out and around everything. Oh, and sticks it just beyond the pin. Oh, that may be fortunate the way that actually checked up for Parker, considering it looked like it was turning over and possibly going to head right into the OB water area. Gibson also going to go out and around, making it look easy. He's going to be just shy at circle's edge. And this is newer that we're seeing an elevated pin here. More often than not, this pin actually sits kind of low to the ground. Feels almost as if it's on the short side of things, and now fully elevated or partially elevated. This would be a better way to word it. Well, let's face it, it's AB's height now. And if you're new here for the event, this is where we saw Andrew Marweed walk off the course yesterday. He had some back problems and back pains prior to starting the tournament, and he said it continually got worse with every shot thrown. He birdies 7, he birdies 8, and then calls it quits, and unfortunately has to have his first ever DNF. So we're wishing our reigning champ the best of luck. Hopefully a full recovery here, ready to go for the 2024 season, as Drew Gibson going to try and get something going. He's going to be under par for the first time in today's round. I could watch Parker's putting stroke all day long. I don't know about you guys. So impressive what he did last year, seeing him bust out at the Dynamic Disc Open, taking down the field. And then just a few weeks ago, out here at Vista, taking down Aaron Gossage, along with Anthony Barela and the rest of a pretty solid casting crew of competitors out here, taking down the Big Arm Challenge back in December. Use the code The Disc Golf Guy over on the Distinguished Doodle. 30% off. People, use the code. You want some top tier, high quality pet care products made right here in the U.S. This guy's coming right out of Arizona, in fact. The Disc Golf Guy, use the code 30% off your order. Tough to tell if you're really trying to attack the pin, or if you can even get there with just the pure hyzer off the tee, but what it feels like it really does is often takes bogey out of play. Drew's going to have to get a fishing pole for that one. Barela fights through. saw him make quite the adjustment. He hung it out way over the water in round 1. And Parker wasn't joking around. I had a hard time following when he was talking about it. Oh, no.
Sick.
And that stays up in the tree. They play a 2-meter rule here in effect, so that's going to be an out of bounds for Parker. So now, going to be just shy looking at a bogey. He was talking about how he hit off the basket for ace and then somehow didn't birdie it. But yes, he hit off the basket. You can go check it out on his Instagram. Pretty incredible. I think there was just 2 birdies on this hole in round number 1. Barela was one of them. And you guys already know the drill. Playing as the most difficult. It's tied for the most difficult hole on the course, averaging .32 over par. When it was all said and done, just 4 birdies out here in today's round. So that is the front 9. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Leave a comment. We've got giveaways, you know, just assume every single round there's a giveaway, every single 9 holes. That's what we're looking at for some of our hot shooters. Again, leave me a comment. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. We'll see you on the back 9.